Did you know it's National Driver Appreciation Week? On this episode of Driven Too Far, we're talking about how companies are celebrating and what you can do to take advantage of it. Hello, I'm Andrew Winkler with Chief Carriers, and this is Driven Too Far, the truth about trucking, a podcast that helps over-the-road truck drivers balance career and family. Welcome back to Driven Too Far, the truth about trucking. I'm your host, Andrew Winkler with Chief Carriers. And this week we're tackling a topic that has some different emotions for different drivers. We're talking National Driver Appreciation Week. Every September we see a flurry of banners and company barbecues and social media shout-outs out there, and it just brings a lot of mixed emotions for a lot of people. The purpose was to recognize the hard work of our men and women that are out there moving up and down our highways and all the hard work they do day in, day out, all year long. But beneath the surface, there's a complex reality. And with some drivers and even with some companies, there's some skepticism and even resentment out there about National Driver Appreciation Week. So I thought we'd talk about it a little bit this week and dive into it and kind of get back to the origins of it. What does it mean? Where did it come from? And what does it look like going forward for our industry? To understand the divide, we need to rewind the clock just a little bit and go back to 1994 when the American Trucking Association came up with the concept of showing the appreciation for 3.5 million drivers out there, like we said, running up and down the highways every day, doing a great job delivering your freight safely and on time. It was a way to acknowledge the long hours that the drivers put in, the demanding schedules, and the sacrifices from being away from home. But as time rolled on, some drivers start to feel like the issues of our industry were overshadowed. We're overshadowing the efforts by the companies that were trying to show appreciation for their hard work. When I talk about maybe low pay in the industry or road conditions, treatment at customers and stuff like that, while the free hot dog and the cup of coffee or donut in the morning was a nice gesture, it really didn't get to the heart of the issues. And that's where drivers started really having a problem with National Driver Appreciation Week and pushing back a little bit. I'll tell you from the company point of view too, there's some companies that really struggle with this whole concept as well. It's not just always the drivers, but from a company point of view, you're in a position, you want to recognize the great things your people do. You should be telling them thank you all year long, and we certainly make that effort. But let's have a special week and let's celebrate what you do in the industry and for our country. Some companies also have a complicated relationship with National Driver Appreciation Week. While we want to show our gratitude and appreciation to drivers, there's some things that we have to consider too. How much money do we push out? You know, we're fighting tight margins right now, a very slow economy in our industry. Just how far do we go and how much can we put into the thanks? And the struggle is if we don't put enough into it, the drivers feel that as well, like it's a half of an effort, so to speak. And, a cup of coffee and a donut just doesn't quite cut it. It doesn't really feel like it's heartfelt gratitude and thanks. Now, in our company, I want to tell you that we go all out. I get it. There's drivers that don't participate in it on purpose. They don't believe in it. They think it's kind of a crock, if you will. There's companies out there too that maybe just don't make time for it. It's a struggle. It's a waste of money. We buy donuts, we buy a hamburger or something at lunch. Beyond that, what you do. But from our point of view in our company, we just go all out. In fact, we take it over and above. It's not a week for us, it's a whole month. So we celebrate the whole month of September. We plan out different barbecues and food events at our different terminals at different times throughout the month. And the idea is we're trying to hit as many drivers as we possibly can with that free meal, with that handshake, with that selfie, with that hug, and a big thanks for all the work they do. Now, do our guys appreciate it? Do our guys and gals appreciate it? I think they do. I think they genuinely get in the spirit of it and understand it. Are we a perfect industry and do we have a lot of issues to tackle? Absolutely, we do. But take it for what it is. You know, it's really us just taking extra time out and making sure we tell you thanks. We do recognize and we see you. We understand the sacrifices you make all year long. So if there's a week or a month out of the year that we get to celebrate that and put you to the forefront to make sure everybody else sees that, we want to take advantage of that. One of the pushbacks we usually see, whether it be on social media posts or just maybe even conversations with drivers, former, current drivers, stuff like that is, why don't you take the money you spend on Appreciation Week and put it in our paychecks? The interesting thing about that is we could certainly do that. And I guess I've always felt like, if we budgeted $5,000 and we're a small company with 100 tractors, that's really not that much money per driver. If you're to divvy that out, split it up, drop it in your paycheck, you're taxed on it next week, there's not much left of that. So the point is that while we could do that, it would be gone in an instant and maybe not even recognized by a lot of drivers that we even did anything. So for us, it's more about the gestures and the conversations, the handshakes, those kinds of things that we get an opportunity to sit down with you, visit with you a little bit extra, more than we do every other day of the week or every other day of the year. But it's making the extra effort, and it's making sure that our staff understands the sacrifices you make as well. So by participating and by celebrating National Driver Appreciation Week, we get to do all those things, and it just doesn't fly under the radar like it does with a lot of companies. So this week, as we celebrate as a nation for all your hard efforts, take advantage of what you see out there. Quit being a stick in the mud. Quit being so stingy. If somebody offers you a free meal, a free cup of coffee, a free donut in the morning, take it and accept it. I feel like it's genuine gratitude that people really are trying to reach out and say thank you for all that you do for us. We know that it needs to be way more than just 1 week out of the year, and it needs to be, these issues that we have in our industry need to be discussed and handled all year long. But take advantage of it. Don't be so skeptical. Don't be so resentful about it. It's nothing that you or I as individuals can control. It's much bigger than us. But don't miss the celebrations. Again, we go probably even further than that in our logistics part of our business is we put goodie bags together for outside carriers. Now that's been received in a couple different ways too. A lot of them, what's fun is when you take that bag out to that driver as he's making a delivery and just saying, hey, we got this for you. We wanted to say thanks. Happy National Driver Appreciation Week. A lot of them have a look of shock on their face and are genuinely grateful for it. So that's the reaction that we like to see, is that we're giving you genuine gratitude and thanks for what you do. It's really neat to see their reaction to that. But it's also backfired on us a few times too, where they go back to their company and maybe say something, hey, why doesn't our company do something like that? And pretty soon we get a call or an email from their company representative going, we'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't give our drivers stuff, because they feel like we're trying to recruit them. And we're certainly not. That's not the intent at all. We are just there to say thank you, not just to our own drivers, but to all the professionals out there that are running up and down our highways and doing such a great job. So from me to you, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the sacrifices you make. It does not go unnoticed, and we certainly couldn't do this without you, and our industry is grateful. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Driven Too Far. Get out there and enjoy National Driver Appreciation Week, and let us celebrate you. We have additional resources in the show notes, so check us out there.